So I just want to take a step back. So I'd moved over from London to San Francisco, but also just here now I wanted to take the time to think about why this area is actually really important and why I think many sort of future entrepreneurs in this room today, it's something really valuable to think about. So firstly, it's a well-reported statistic from the World Health Organization that 1 billion people in the world have a disability of some kind. Now, there's many different types of disabilities across a broad spectrum, but I think if we just sort of hold on there and think about that statistic, that is a huge number of people and often a massively untapped audience that many companies, organizations don't often think about. Now, for those of you who have worked in accessibility before on sort of the tech side, I'd ask sort of what comes to mind when you think about tech and accessibility. And I imagine a lot of it is things like, digital accessibility compliance, and does it, comply with sort of W3C standards, and is it AA, or lots of kind of, well-established and very vital compliance and accessibility measures to make sure that a website is digitally accessible. However, as the online and offline worlds are converging, we need to think about how accessibility can be baked when technology is facilitating the use of a real-world product. And so I have some examples here, whether it be a self-driving car, or an Alexa Echo device, or home automation, or even on-demand transport like Uber. How are all these products and services going to be usable for people with disabilities when maybe even the foundational, fundamental product itself may not have been built for accessibility in mind? But when those products and services are becoming so vital and important, how do we make sure people can actually use them? And for me, sort of the anecdote I share, even though things are much better now, when I first moved from London to San Francisco, one of my biggest struggles was the fact there was no transportation. So at the time, Uber and Lyft did not provide any accessible vehicles as part of their service. And so it was literally impossible to get a taxi of any kind around San Francisco. Luckily now, fortunately, things have changed and there is a lot more service. But when I first got to San Francisco, I felt completely stranded because I couldn't use the same transport services that everybody else could use. And so that poses the question, when offline and online converge, how do we ensure accessibility? And I think it's a really important, but also a very complex question that sits at the intersection of technology, policy, product development, design, and has a lot of really complex societal questions that we collectively need to think about.